Hi, everybody. Joe Karasin here, Director of Operations at Posh Detroit. This week, I had a couple of questions concerning one very specific topic, and so I just wanted to kind of touch on it. I gave 3 individual presentations this week about Google Ads, and every time I brought up the term ad extensions, I got questions about what those are and how they help and why I utilize them when I set up Google Ads. So I figured I would just kind of touch on the various types of extensions that there are and how they can help you really dig down and help you increase your click-through rate while reducing the cost per click on your Google Ads. So without further ado, this is a primer on ad extensions. Now, those of you that know what Google Ads look like, generally the search ads look like search results. They are written text format, but sometimes when you search for something and you see different types of ads, they're displayed differently. Like you might see a couple that are, just they look like search results, and then you see some where they have lots of different, features in them, and those are what ad extensions are. And on a mobile device, if you utilize the right ad extensions and you have your bidding and your targeting set up correctly, they'll take over the whole mobile device when somebody searches on some phones. And so they're really powerful tools. And so you want to make sure that you are doing that correctly. Now, there are a ton of different types of ad extensions. I'm going to go into the majority of them, at least the most useful ones, the more specific ones that they have. I'm not going to touch on those today so much because I'm going to go over the types of ad extensions that benefit the majority of clients that I run across. So the very first type of ad extension that you are able to create when you are creating your Google search ads is what they call a site link extension. Now, what a site link extension is, well, when you start a Google ad, you have to put your URL in, like what your website is. So if, let's say, you run a company called buyacar.com. So you type in buyacar.com, you start setting up your targeting, and then it goes into extensions. Now, on buyacar.com, you might have a page set up for Ford, for Chevy, for Toyota, for Honda. You might have different pages for every car manufacturer, or maybe by style of car, like, pickup trucks, SUVs, sedans, whatever you have. I'll stick with brands for now because that's a little simpler, and it really isn't important what your business is. It's important to you, but it's not important to the explanation. So at any rate, so when you go in there, what you can do is you can set up an individual site link for everyone for up to like 4 or 5 pages that you want to use. So you could say like top Ford models and, Toyota Camrys and, Chevy Blazers, whatever you want to, however you want to direct people, whatever you think is going to be something that's going to attract the person to click that. So they might see your first headline with the 3 different, headline codes, and it might say buyacar.com. We sell cars for less and we have financing, whatever your 3 headlines are. And then you got your little text in the middle of your descriptions and you'll talk about your business or whatever. And then you have these other links that are there. And so you can really kind of target individual people a little more granularly by utilizing these. They're an extremely powerful tool. What we've discovered, or at least what I've discovered in running these over the last few years, is that if you're able to really use really good site links based on your keyword research, you can increase your CTR on those by 6%. Recently, I ran an ad for a client, and we had a couple different site link extensions in the ad for them, and the site link extensions were drawing the clicks at about a 7-to-1 ratio. So we were getting about 2.5% on the main link, and we were getting up to 15% on the site links. So extremely powerful tool, a great way to catch your the consumer's eye. And the best part about them is, if you're doing it, if your customer is searching on mobile, they appear like individual lines in the bottom of the ad. So it takes up, here's the text, and then here's your site link extensions. It's a big chunk of the ad. Huge advantage if you're running these ads. And in the case of the client that I was describing, they have a lot of national brand competition for their in their market, and they are outdrawing them all the time, and it's because they're utilizing these. Most of the national brand ad does not have site link extensions for whatever reason. I'm not 100% sure why, but that would be one thing that I think would be really helpful. Secondly, another type of extension, the next extension that you'll be able to add to your ad is called a call out extension. What a call out extension is a what you utilize them for, what best practices would be with them is to utilize them to highlight specific features of your business. So let's say you run a craft store online, you've got an e-commerce business, and let's say you offer free shipping and you have a sale going on at the moment, and you have all those types of things, because they're only at 25 characters long, but you can put like, I think 7 or you put 10 of them in at any given time. So you could have free shipping, holiday sale, prices, whatever. You can do all those things in that site link extension or the call out extension. And what that does is it actually expands the text of the main ad even more. So now if you use both extensions, site link and call out, and you're utilizing 2 headlines and 3 headlines and 2 descriptions, you've got, 90 characters up top, 180 characters in the middle, another potential 250 characters in the site link or the call out extensions, and then you've got your site link. So you've got an ad now that is this big, taking up a significant portion of the screen on a mobile device, and the display on the desktop is way bigger. It runs like this as opposed to that. So it really stands out. And if you're able to target appropriately, and you are and you're bidding competitively, you will outbid and outrank the other competitors. And then you'll be, not only if you're the first ad on a mobile screen, that's the only thing your consumers seeing when they first load it up. And as we know, attention spans, especially on mobile devices, are very low, and so it's very easy to get them to click on your ad because, well, hey, they found exactly what I was looking for. I was searching for cars, and I found the Ford ad that I wanted to hit. So boom, there I go. I'm in. I'm looking at what I want. So that is a really helpful tool to utilize. The next extension that you can do is a call extension, not a call out extension. A call extension actually enables you to put a phone number in your ad. And if your consumer is searching on a mobile device, they just push the button and it instantly calls you. Couple caveats. Number one, you have to have it linked to like a direct line. It can't be like an answering service or a forwarding number, unless that forwarding number is a Google Voice number. Otherwise, it won't work. So if you have a cell phone, link it to your cell phone. If you've got a website with an office number on it, use that. Google will reject the number if it's not something that they utilize. So definitely want to look out for that. But what a powerful way for people to interact with you seamlessly. They don't even have to visit your website. They just push the button and boom, you're on the phone with them. It's crazy, and it works like a charm. We've driven hundreds of phone calls to clients all across the country utilizing this link ad extension. Super powerful tool. If you're targeting correctly, you will find the right people who want to call your business and work with you. So definitely call extensions are huge. In the same vein, the next thing is a text extension. Yes, you can have somebody text you directly from your Google ad. I can't describe how powerful that is in 2019. The ability for a potential customer in this day and age where everybody hates getting on the phone to just push send message and it goes directly to you. Now you can pre-append a message in there for them. So let's say you're a realtor and you've got an ad up and you want somebody to contact you about selling their home. So your ad should speak to that. You should be targeting that mindset in the back end. And then in the text thing, it should say something like, yes, I'm thinking of selling my home. They push the button, it sends you that message, and then you can program an auto response message. So one of the campaigns we're running currently for a realtor is, yes, I'm thinking of selling my home. Somebody pushes the button, message comes right back to them, and it says, great, thanks. We'll have somebody reach out to help you sell your home. Just like that. So an instantaneous response to the client, and therefore much more likely to be able to engage in a conversation that has some meaning to your business. Couple things about that I think are also really cool. Number one, you can have it linked directly to your cell phone. So you can just get the text right on your phone, or you can have the text messages sent to an email address that you have set up. So let's say you have a sales team of like 10 people, and one person is on call over the weekend, for example, and they get a message from somebody that says, hey, I'm thinking of, selling my home, or I want to purchase life insurance, or whatever the case may be. That person, then you could have that email address forwarded out to that individual that's on call, and they can then follow up directly with the individual. The message that comes back to the client is directly to their phone, so you don't have to worry. It looks just like you texted them back and said, hey, I'll be right with you. So a very powerful tool in this day and age, where everybody kind of wants to speak via text as opposed to on the phone. One other type of extension I want to cover, and the other types are a little more, they're a little specific, so I'm not going to get into those too much. The next one is what we call a structured snippet. The structured snippet is basically you select a headline, and there's, I think, 12 headlines you can pick currently. They are things like brands and amenities, and there's all these different types. So let's say you own a hotel and you want to highlight the fact that your hotel has an Olympic-sized pool, an in-house spa, weight room, some fitness center, something along those lines. You can then pick that, and it'll say on the ad amenities, and then it'll have like fitness center, Olympic-sized pool, spa, in-house spa. So it'll list those amenities for people. So now they've seen 3 headlines for your business. So let's get back to our example for the auto dealer, for example. So they see your headline, it's buyacar.com. We sell cars for less, and buy from us now, something like that. Then there's a longer description. We sell all the hot cars that everybody's looking for, looking to get that new Corvette, whatever you want to do, get creative. And then on top of that, you got your call out extension. So it'll say things like, financing available, good credit, bad credit, no credit. We get everybody financed, things like that for your call outs. And then, you could go down into the structured snippets, which will appear just ahead of those site links. And it'll say like, brands, and you could have Ford, Chevy, Chrysler, Toyota, Honda, Aston Martin, Tesla, whatever you're selling. So now you have created an ad that takes up a tremendous amount of space, whether it is on a desktop, on a tablet, on a phone. You are now also, too, you are in a position at that point to be automatically bumped ahead of somebody who hasn't done this, which we are finding more and more that national brands aren't doing this. They don't. I mean, your bigger companies, like your multinational companies, are definitely doing it. Your Fords, Disneys, all of them are kind of doing that sort of thing. But like in the real estate space, for example, Zillow's not doing it. Realtor.com's not doing it. HomeLight's not doing it. So there you go right there. You can easily outrank them and appear above them just by using these little tools, which is super powerful. I can't stress the amount of the higher click-through rate that you're going to experience. What we're seeing, like I said, here at Posh Detroit, is higher click-through rates, a bigger impression share, which is a huge factor. It means that you're being displayed more often than your competitors, which is great, because obviously the more people that have eyeballs on your ad, the more people that are going to be able to click through. We're seeing higher click-through rates, higher top-of-page rates. Just a really powerful way to do it. So if you're creating Google Ads, I highly suggest learning these extensions and kind of getting familiar with them and being able to utilize them a little bit more effectively for your business. If it's something that you're not comfortable and familiar with, give us a call, reach out. We're more than happy to help you through this process, set up ads that are going to be effective, that are going to help you grow your business and make more money. So I'm Joe Karasin, Director of Operations here at Posh Detroit. Hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thanks for watching.